Ladies and gentlemen, my name is TotalBiscuit, and feast your eyes upon the Cynical Rig Mark 5. Well, the Mark IV, as you're probably well aware, had an ancient voodoo curse, which was causing some problems here and there. Unreliability issues, weird performance problems, just bizarre bugbears. It was a machine that we built a few years ago, been upgraded quite a lot, but unfortunately it didn't really work out as well as we'd hoped. Now, for this job, there's one thing that you really need more so than anything else, and that's reliability. Reliability translates, hopefully, into accuracy. And inaccuracy can lead to very unfortunate results. It can lead to misleading consumers, that's terrible. It can lead to misrepresenting products, that's also terrible. These are things that we do not want. So, for this time around, I decided instead of building it myself, because while I can do that, I am a klutz, a horrible klutz, as many bent main boards and missing parts and screwed up pins will tell you, to ask somebody else to do it for me. And after doing a lot of research, I decided that I'd commission Maingear to make this system, and we came to a deal. They'll build a system in return for me showing you the system and telling you exactly what is in it. That simple. That is the nature of the agreement. So, let's tell you a little bit about the specs of this thing. In fact, let's dive inside it, shall we? And I can show you right now. Alright, so first things first, I need to take the full-size tempered glass window off the side. Both sides of the case have this tempered glass. 4 thumb screws keep it in. Really, really nice design on this particular case. This is a modified custom Rush from Maingear. Uses some parts that are not readily available in the standard configurations on the Maingear site. A little bit more powerful, a little bit more up-to-date, sort of based on the needs of the job. Now, inside this, first things first, powering that, we have an Intel 6900K 8-core, which is running at a mild overclock of 4 GHz. It can absolutely go higher than that, there's no doubt about it, but as I mentioned at the start, the priority first is stability. Stability. So, while we can push it a bit further than that, and we probably will at some point, I'd rather make sure that it's 100% right now. There we go. Take the side off it, and you'll see what's going on right here. You may notice immediately that this whole thing is cooled by this rather strange-looking substance. Had it colored white, the whole design actually was made by Maingear themselves. They went for the white and sort of crystal cold blue approach, which I thought was really classy, very nice. And we're using a soft tube custom loop with 2 large radiators, which cools both the CPU and the graphics cards. So we can push the Titan XPs, that's the Titan X Pascal editions that we have in this, a lot harder than you can regularly, and also more to the point, it makes the whole bloody thing quieter, which in a recording environment is a priority. You can see the board underneath there, which is an Asus X99E WS, or workstation board. Looking for, again, more reliability. The Rampage 5 had quite a few issues in the Mark IV, so going for a workstation board seemed like the better way to go, and the whole thing is powered by a Corsair Platinum AX1200i PSU. For the love of God, don't ever skimp on your PSU. That is the one component you should never skimp on. It has a tendency of taking other components with it when it goes bad, so do watch out for that. If we pull back, you'll notice perhaps in the background the RAM. That is 32 gigs of Kingston HyperX DDR4 2666 HyperX Fury. You might think, well, you could go faster than that, right? Why didn't you get 3200? Well, here's the thing about DDR4, particularly on the X99 platform, which has a hell of a lot of memory bandwidth. Performance just simply doesn't scale well. And more to the point, the higher speed you go, the more instability you tend to bring in there. A lot of boards don't fully support that very high-speed DDR4, and the benefits are so marginal that in many cases both the synthetic and the real-world benchmarks for a 3200 system are actually slightly lower than 2666. And that's not timing related either, that's just a case of it doesn't help. There's no point, so reliability is key. Decided to go back to the outside view there, turn the lights off. It looks so lovely in the dark, so you can enjoy that for a little while. Storage-wise, we got an Intel 750 1.2 terabyte. That is a beast of a PCIe SSD. So that's a sequential read of 2,500 megabytes a second, 1,200 megabyte write, and it's got a faster 4K read and write than the smaller models do. So you do get a performance boost as well as a storage boost from that. It is a bit pricey, no doubt about it, but it is one of the fastest storage solutions on the market. Great for putting games on, great, of course, for running Windows on. Awesome for scratch data, for Adobe Premiere, for instance, for video editing. That's nice as well. We have another PCIe SSD in the form of the 950 Pro from Samsung. That's a 512 NVMe SSD that's mounted on a PCIe adapter. And last but by no means least, the mechanical drive is a 6TB Western Digital Gold Datacenter HD, which is designed for a lot of uptime, a lot of reliability, and a ton of grind and work, which tends to happen a lot when you're recording terabytes upon terabytes of footage, as well as reading and writing with a lot of encoding on a nightly basis. So nice to still have a mechanical drive with a lot of space that is rock solid reliable. Whole thing's in a big full tower case with a ton of the latest thermal take fans and, as I said before, 2 cooling radiators which power the whole thing. Big pumps in that and a lovely custom color on the whole thing. Beautiful, really. Really nice piece of work. We actually watched Maingear build it live, and that stream VOD is available. I'll put a link in the description below this video. About 4 hours long, and they did a ton of Q&A if you want to know about PC building and all sorts of things like that. The question is buying from a boutique retailer, a specialist, right for you, or is building? Well, when it comes to price performance, building your own is obviously going to be king. The value of getting something built by a boutique or specialist retailer is support, it is warranty, and in most cases, it is expertise if you buy from the right place. It's from people that build a lot of these machines that do it well and do it to a very high standard and run it through some very rigorous testing. And that's what I was looking for. Considering the ridiculous bugbears that we had with the Mark IV, I wanted to get rid of that. I wanted something that I would not have to worry about. A machine failing is a big deal in our line of work, not to mention that even failure is not necessarily the problem. If it's doing something weird and it's affecting performance, then the resulting video is going to be inaccurate and you're going to get bad information. So we don't want that. That's the absolute priority. So hopefully this machine is going to provide just that. It is nice and powerful, made some pretty good choices, I think. You might be asking, why not the 10-core? There's a reason for that. In terms of gaming, the 10-core ain't going to help you. It's also running at a lower clock speed than the 8-core. So as a result, you generally don't get as good performance in most real-world applications. And yet, adding a couple of extra cores is going to help with streaming, and it is going to help with video encoding work as well for my day-to-day. Why go for soft tubing over hard tubing? Well, the reason for that is that we tend to upgrade our GPUs quite regularly, and hard tubing makes that a lot trickier to do at home. So with the soft tubing, it's a little easier to pull that off if we want to do it. Hard tubing, I will admit, for some people definitely looks a little nicer. That's up to you. They offer both choices. If you want to check Maingear out, you can do that. It's maingear.com, and they are currently having a Black Friday sale for the next few days. So if you're looking for a new PC, if you happen to be in the market for it, if you decide to pick one up and you put the code TotalBiscuit in at the checkout, you will get a free extended warranty, an extra year on top of what you already get. So a little bit of a savings for you right there if you so desire. So far, so good with this thing. It's running on like an absolute dream, and I can't wait for it to fail to play Dishonored 2 properly, just like every other bloody machine in the universe. Alright, you might be thinking, what's the point of having a PC with lighting in it if you can't do RGB? Yeah, absolutely right. Who on earth would want a stylish, classy machine when they can have this? There we go, the essence of being a PC gamer. That's truly what it's all about. No, it's defiling a good thing is what it is. Maingear.com, ladies and gentlemen, those are the people that built it for me and paid for it. And if you put in the code TotalBiscuit in the checkout, you will get the 3 years extended warranty. Thank you very much for watching, folks. Big thanks to Maingear for building this. I'll see you next time.